Back in the mid-1970s, supercars tended to be low, loud, almost impossible to drive, especially in the wet like today, and prone to breaking down a lot. But then Porsche introduced the great-great-grandfather of this car, and suddenly supercar performance was available in a truly usable package. The 911 Turbo has come a long way during the intervening decades, gaining an extra turbocharger, four-wheel drive, and evolving into a totally new car at the start of the last decade. And now there's this revised model for 2010, a machine with twice the horsepower of the original. The big news is an all-new engine, still a flat 6, but now displacing 3.8 litres and producing 500 horsepower with 516 pounds-foot of torque. Once again, the Turbo deploys its power through a four-wheel drive system, while a twin-clutch gearbox replaces the old Tiptronic automatic. A manual box is still an option. The Turbo sits at the top of Porsche's regular range, offering supercar performance with all-weather ability and a dose of practicality. And it is very fast indeed. 0 to 62 miles an hour takes just 3.4 seconds, with a top speed just short of 200 miles an hour. Want to know what that sort of performance feels like? Well, wet or dry road, if you give the Turbo full throttle at just 2000 RPM, you've already got the full arsenal of all that torque available. And the result is the Turbo simply accelerates with unbelievable ferocity. The optional twin-clutch PDK gearbox changes gear almost seamlessly, but it is an opinion divider. For all its benefits, there's a fair degree of button pressing involved, and doesn't really offer that sense of direct control that you get with the manual option. The Turbo essentially displays the characteristics of the modern 911. That is, the mechanical layout dictates the character of the car, but the limits are so high that unless you're pushing really hard indeed, the overall impression is that the Turbo corners, stops and goes like something from a different planet. Sheer usability has always been a key Turbo quality, and the latest car can be an everyday proposition, even if the ride is overtly harsh at times. The rear seats are okay for kids, and the front luggage area is reasonable. It's a sensible cabin, if rather serious. For £110,000, the 911 Turbo lacks the flamboyance of some of its supercar rivals. But then little else can combine its all-weather, near 200 mph performance with around 25 miles per gallon fuel consumption and just 268 grams per kilometre of CO2. Over 3 decades on, and the legend continues.